Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Tracy Caulfield with the Cushing Chamber of Commerce, and we are here today with James Winn, and he is running for the state Senate seat for District 21. Welcome, James. How are you today?
Hi, I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's just jump right into it. Tell us about yourself.
Well, like you said, my name's James Winn. I guess I started out, was born in Stillwater. We used to live in Cushing as a young kid, and then I moved to Mantford and kind of did most of my schooling in Mantford. Um, my grandma was actually a teacher in Cushing Public Schools, retired out of Cushing Public Schools. Her name was LaRue Bondurant. If a lot of your older generation might know her well. She did a lot of work around town and everything and was very active in the community there in Cushing. My mother was a retired school teacher out of Drumright. She did her whole education career out of Drumright. Her name was Janice Winn, so a lot of your viewers might know her too. But after high school, graduated from Mantford, went to college at Northeastern State University, and I got a degree in safety management and industrial operations. So that kind of led me into the oil field. I've worked all around the oil field, from rigs to refinery work to pipeline. I guess the pipeline was my more recent job in the oil field. I worked for Magellan, as you all know, that has the big tank farms south of town. And so I've been all through the tank farms there in Cushing. I did a lot of damage prevention for them, of just kind of protecting their assets. So that's kind of my ties to Cushing and the oil industry, which I think is a very vital part. So after that, I kind of stepped away to get closer to my family, more family time. So right now I'm just running a farm that I built, a small family farm that kind of focuses more on direct to consumer. That way I can get enough profits to actually feed my family.
Right? Yes. Farming is not for the weak, is it?
Yes.
That is for sure. So, tell us a little bit about your family. Do you have children?
Yes, I'm married to my wife, Melissa Winn. We have 4 kids together, 3 girls and a boy. And then I have a older 18-year-old son that was from a previous marriage. And so 5 kids.
Oh my goodness, bless your heart.
I love
Wow.
it.
Yeah, I bet so. I bet it's a lot of fun out there for
Yes.
sure. So tell us, and you are on the Republican ticket for the June 18th primary election. And tell us about why you decided to run.
Well, I've always been like interested in politics. I guess I was the guy at work that always talked politics with everybody, even if they didn't want to hear it.
Mhm.
But it's just really like witnessing the decline in our country. Like, to me, at this point, I think most people are aware like something is going on, something is not right. And I feel like I just have that good, strong base. I've done a lot of research, done a lot of reading around the founding of our country, and stuff like that, around the Constitution. And so I just feel like it's my duty to kind of raise my hand and say, put me in, coach, and see what I can do.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about your key campaign points.
Okay. I'm really like focused around freedom and liberty. I'm a really like liberty minded. I feel like we need to restore our constitutional republic. Our our government is not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic that democratically elects its representation. So it's like a lot of my key points around those issues, where our education and everything's been manipulated into making everyone believe that, hey, this is a democracy. And it's totally missing like all our safeguards, our checks and balances that would keep the average citizen happy and safe in this country. I guess other key points, like I'm really big on like we the people. The slogan for my campaign is "We the people need a win." So it's really like I guess I'll be more focused on restraining the government, putting the government back into its original place where it used to be. That way the citizens can thrive. As in a lot of other candidates, it's more about passing laws on the citizens. I'm more interested in like passing laws to restrain the government. And I think that's what would make the vast majority of people happy. Because at the end of the day, democracy is really like they've been pitting 51% against the 49%. And that's too big of a portion of our population to try to make everyone happy, because at 49% of the US population, that's a lot of unhappy people. And it's really the Constitution is there to protect the minority, make sure the minority's voice is heard, and really just saying, I don't care that you can outvote me. The Constitution's here to protect me, even though I'm the minority voice.
Fantastic. Since we are a chamber of commerce, I always like to bring a little bit, and with you running for state senate seat, what are some things that you think you could bring to the table that would benefit our economic development in Oklahoma and our business community in Oklahoma?
One of the big issues I have with the taxes and the business side of taxes is the 901B business tax, where it's virtually they are retaxing us year after year after year on the same merchandise that's just inventory sitting in your store. And so it's like, I think if we pulled that out of the tax code, that would dramatically help local businesses and everything. It's one less expense they have to worry about, more money they can put back into their business to help it flourish. So that's like one little thing, but just like in my heart, in my mind, a lot of it is instead of using government to give money to big corporations that then come into our state and then crush the mom and pop businesses that are really like the bread and the butter of our town, I wouldn't do any of that.
Gotcha. Well, how do you feel about this grocery tax thing?
I'm split because to me, a lot of our tax issues are really like federal related. It's really like, more of the federal government. I'm running for a state office. So it's hard for me to sit here and say, like, we need to cut state taxes. We need to cut state taxes. And then it's kind of punishing the average Oklahoma person. And so it's like, I'm very logical, very open mind to that aspect. I definitely would not support new taxes or anything like that. But like ultimately, if I had my utopia, it would be no taxes and really just sales taxes. A lot of the sales taxes should drive your local economies and everything. That would put the money back into the town. I think that would more focus on Main Street instead of Wall Street. And it's right now, it's like much of our tax code is focused on benefiting Wall Street, and like it's really constraining the Main Street business people.
Well, is there anything else that you would like the public to know about your stance, your campaign, or about you?
Like I said, I'm just like really freedom, liberty minded. Some of the other issues I like to bring up is like judicial reform. I'm very passionate about that because it's really like focus on restoring our checks and balances. So one of the main issues in Oklahoma on the judicial side is our Oklahoma Supreme Court justices are not really put forth by we the people. It all comes from the Bar Association, which is a private organization. They get to pick the 3 Supreme Court justices that are then put forward and then verified by the governor. So there is a bill out there, I think it's SJR 34, where they're trying to change that. So maybe it gets changed before I get in office. But this is one that's dear to my heart, where basically they're looking to change it to where the Senate will be able to vet and verify 3 candidates, and then you push those forward to the governor to him pick the final candidate.
Got it. Well, we've got just a couple more minutes. And I kind of wanted to get, kind of going back to business legislation. What your, if you feel comfortable with answering this, you don't have to. What kind of your feedback on the 832, the raising of the minimum wage for Oklahoma?
I don't think passing laws like that is going to benefit Oklahoma as a whole, because you can't take into account all the small businesses and everything that cannot afford to raise that minimum wage. But then a lot of those minimum wage jobs we're talking about, that minimum wage is supplemented by tips and other means of income for them. So I would really just be against raising the minimum wage. I understand, like, we got to do something to get more money into our state, but I don't think like legislating a law saying, hey, you need to pay more money is going to benefit us as a whole.
I just looking at it, it's, there's a raise in it like every year or every other year or something like that. But see, most businesses are already at the $15 mark or higher, so, but that every other year or year of an increase as well, it's scary. It's very scary for businesses, especially the small businesses. Yeah,
Especially like the restaurants and stuff, because we've seen through COVID and everything. COVID shut down most of our small family-owned restaurants, and it's really like the more corporate chain type restaurants are the ones that were able to absorb a lot of that, because they had deeper bank accounts and everything to be able to absorb that and go forward. Well, I think with the minimum wage, it's kind of going to be the same way. The ones that are bigger and have deeper pockets are going to be able to absorb it easier, and the ones that are just paying their bills month to month are really going to suffer.
All right. Well, thank you so much, James. We really appreciate it. How can people get a hold of you?
Right now, Facebook's probably the best way. My personal page is James Winn. I'm out of Manford, Oklahoma. Look me up. But then I have also a Facebook page of James Winn for State Senate District 21. You can look me up on there. I'm kind of just a small self-funded candidate, so I don't have a big website or anything like that. But I'm starting to get my message out there, and yeah, please reach out to me and let's talk.
Well, thanks again for your time and your participation. We deeply appreciate it. And best of luck on June 18th.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.